Today we'll talk about Pakistan and India's relations. It is in the same context of Pakistan relations with foreign countries, but I think with India we have the most troubled and disturbing relations from 1947 to 2020. Basically, they remain contentious for both sides. It's not only Pakistan's doing something wrong or India is not doing something right. It is contentious. Because after partition, the state-to-state relation did not turn a new leaf, but rather remained a continuation of the relations between Indian National Congress and All India Muslim League. So the seeds of dissension, the seed of mistrust, or rather the seeds of hate were already there. And some of this rancor comes from the frustration caused by missed opportunities. Even after getting securing electoral endorsement for partition in 1946, the Muslim League compromised by accepting the cabinet mission plan, which provided for a central power between the Hindustan and Pakistan areas controlling defense, foreign affairs and communications. This was not what was the ideal for Muslim League. Some writers have defended Nehru's rejection of the cabinet mission plan by asserting that it would have resulted in the creation of Pakistan. This argument would have been forceful had its rejection prevented the emergence of Pakistan. Even if the Muslim League had had the desire to create Pakistan from the cabinet mission plan, it did not have the means. But after the creation of Pakistan, the next issue which soured India-Pakistan relations was Kashmir from the day one, because it was not decided judiciously. Alistair Lamb has come out with this letter that the Maharaja of Kashmir produced a letter of that they wanted to have an alliance with India. That's a fake letter they presented. That letter was never written. After Kashmir, the next issue was the sharing of the Indus water between India and Pakistan, and this issue also continues till date. This problem was considered permanently solved, but since 2004, the spectre of the Baglihar Dam built on the Indian side has reopened the issue and brought the World Bank into the scene. You know, it is an international law that upper riverine countries who have the source of rivers in their countries and lower riverine countries which have the flow of that water, that the upper riverine countries have a binding on them that they will not stop the water to the countries where the water flows down. The 1971 war was caused by the crisis in East Pakistan. It used to be an integral part of Pakistan under international law. Kashmir came to be discussed only during the 1972 Shimla Conference. Another problem between India and Pakistan was the valuation of the Pakistani rupee in the face of Indian devaluation. And then the communal rights which broke in after the pact of Liaquat-Nehru Pact 1950, these agreements together with the arbitration over the run of Kutch in 1965 show that when there has been a political will, there has been a way, and that the outstanding disputes were not dictated by nature. India had a diplomatic success in Kashmir, and what were the reasons for that? it needs to be explained that why Kashmir remains in the possession of India. The first thing is that India has done well by following the golden rule of unity, faith and discipline. It has worked at building its country's image, not now, but it was under Nehru. It was a chain, Nehru was a chain smoker, but it would be difficult to find photographs showing him smoking because the patriotic Indian press did not publicize even what was a fashionable practice in those days. They revere Nehru for his role in securing India's freedom and disregard the errors of judgment that resulted in partition. And on our part, we have been ridiculing our Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan, and persistently we perpetuate a completely baseless myth that he solicited an invitation from Russia and used it instead to maneuver an invitation from the US. Instead of showing appreciation, we revel in criticizing him, and not him only, but anyone that we don't like. Indians are more united, much more patriotic and nationalistic. Hardly any Indian ever blames the governments for invading the integral part of Pakistan in 1971. As our governments have really failed to make the public consciousness come to a level to accept it. The origins of Kashmir dispute are that it was kept by India against a settled rule that the provinces would go on the basis of population. There were Muslim population but a Hindu Raja, and India played it in their own right, and as I said earlier, a fake letter was produced. Then came the boundary awards that Gurdaspur and Firozpur Road was supposed to be part of Pakistan, but somehow it didn't, with the connivance of Mountbatten and the Congress people. And then the United States also did not use its pressure in United Nations Security Council, and it was taken against that. And after that, till date, that the rift and tensions create mostly out of water, then also of military skirmishes. And India has been trying to stall Pakistan, and by realizing that India is always ready to attack us, this kind of a thing will never let the relations to be normal. And in the name of exercises, they collect heavy army on our Pakistani borders, and thank goodness that situation was averted. Otherwise, it would have been very, 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 very damaging. We need to understand that both of us as neighbors have to understand our politics and our diplomatic considerations. But these days, they are abnormal days. What is happening in Kashmir, it's heart-wrenching. What is happening to all the Muslims in India is unbelievable. They are basically flouting their own constitution that all citizens are not equal, and they are trying to make Muslims as a sub-citizen, a second-rate citizen in India. So all these things will always mar the good diplomatic relations between India and Pakistan. Khuda Hafiz.